Okay, guys, welcome back. And let me share the screen. Okay. This is our, and this is the last part, I believe, the first and the second dart. Is anybody remember what is that about? Yes, Richard?
I believe it was first darts are the ones that others throw at us, and second darts are the ones we throw at ourselves.
Yes, it's pretty close. Only I will add that some throw at us. I agree with you, and it can be something happen to us from not necessarily from the people, but what is happening, like some mental discomfort, how said, and like mental discomfort, unescapable physical problems. It's all first darts of existence. And what I like, Buddha said that as long as you live and love, some of those darts will come your way. So it's it's unavoidable. It's inescapable. Katie B, did you raise your hand or you forgot to put it down?
Sorry, I forgot to put it down.
Yes, and please, guys, who came later, I want to tell that if you want to promote your business, please put it in the chart, not in the chart, in the chat. I know there is some people who have beautiful business, so I would encourage you to put it. You never know who might be interested in your service. So yes, and I think this is pretty explanatory. What I like that most of our suffering comes from second darts. Because when the first darts come, we just need to deal with them. But the second darts, it's our ruminating, it's our complaining, it's our worrying. So we are worried by ourselves, we are sharing to our friends, we are sharing to our close one, and we are making a group of complainers, right? And we continue and continue, and this is suffering comes from. Also, what keep in mind, know that it's our brain is creating, and this is chart is talking about what kind of problems it's creating. Our second darts. A lot of problems, physical problems, mental consequences. Our review, I think this I like. The best odds prescription for a long, good life is a baseline of mainly its parasympathetic nervous system arousal with mild central sympathetic nervous system activation for vitality. So what does it mean? That a little bit stress, a little bit arouse, a little bit some sharp situation, acute situation in our life, it's fine actually. But this is usually first darts. So do not afraid if something happen to you, I cannot be nervous, I will be like sick or it will be a problem. No, it's fine. It's like hardening yourself. It's a little spike. It will get you stronger. But if you're throwing second darts on and on and on, days and weeks and months, so that is a problem. This is a path of practice. This is for who wants to be a Buddha, but just basically to remember, as the saying goes, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And I remember Richard likes it. But yes, just write it down and read it. I'll tell you, I'm going through this PowerPoint often until it went into my mind. And this is, what do you think about it? Buddha said, the cause of all pain and suffering is ignorance. What he was talking about? How can you explain? How do you understand it, Katie B, please?
I think that cause of some pain is ignorance for a certain segment of the population, but I think for some people, they're not ignorant. They're just in denial or they're resistant and they're totally conscious and they are not ignorant. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Guys, what do you think about it? There is no wrong or right answers. There is your experience, there's your opinion, and it's very valuable. Okay, Richard, please.
I would replace the word ignorance with lack of acceptance.
Good.
That's just the way I see things.
Yes, you're working on acceptance, and it's a great point, which remove a lot of problems and sufferings in our life. So, Ben, please.
I 100% agree with not the same way it is structured. Definitely ignorance is the cause of suffering. But when you suffer, you are ignorant. In other words, the reason you're suffering is because you don't know. Because culture, society, etc., have an idea of perfection. In other words, what something should be. It's kind of perfection, you know, in the materialist world or spiritual world or whatever world, even ethical world or moral world, there is an idea or how you should be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't comply to that, you basically are violating the perfection. So you're imperfect. So you will suffer because you are imperfect. But it comes really from ignorance. It doesn't mean because you are ignorant, the culture is not ignorant. The culture can be ignorant. Millions of people can be ignorant. And they can be ignorant together. You know, you don't need like just one to know something. Oh, I know something different. Well, we're millions of people, we think this way. And actually they are ignorant what it should be. No, because it should be this way or that way, is because it causes suffering. In this case, ignorance and suffering goes together because ignorance causes suffering. Because if you really knew, you won't cause suffering to yourself, neither to others. Thank you.
Bingo, Ben. Absolutely. So, guys, do not accept ignorance as an insulting word. It's absolutely normal word, which means just lack of knowledge. So if we will say lack of knowledge, nobody will be offended, right? Yes, I cannot have, I'm lots in lack of knowledge, and I actually cannot know everything, right? So I am knowledgeable in something, but I'm completely ignorant in 1 million other things. So when we will accept ignorance, just lack of knowledge, this quote will make sense. For example, even see it said, he said, not only suffering, comes from ignorance, but even all pain comes from ignorance. What does it mean? Do we know how our body operates? Whatever we are sick, what we are doing, physically sick, we are going to a doctor. What doctor is giving us? Doctor is giving us antibiotic. What does an antibiotic doing? Antibiotic is killing on its way all good and the bad flora in your stomach, period. It's not a solution. Because some physical pain we need to look for source. We are just killing the symptoms. So what does it mean? It means doctors are ignorant. Because doctors didn't tell us what to do. They graduated 8, 10, 15 years of college. But why, how Ben said, it's millions of people, billions of people can be ignorant. And it's exactly where we represent ourselves. Our technology right now going so fast that it's overpassing our emotional intelligence. Our medicine, just look at our medicine, what our medicine is skilled. Our medicine is skillful for if it's something doesn't work, we will cut it, or we will give antibiotics, right? And it's great, it saved lives, but still it doesn't go into the source. So what does it mean? That we are on the way, and hopefully in a couple of millions of years, I hope sooner, we will be knowledgeable enough that to see the problems and to heal them, fix them from the source, not just remove the symptoms. And of course, suffering, we are talking the whole meeting about it, that it's our ignorance. We don't know how brain is working. And if we don't know how brain is working, we will suffer. Buddha, what he did? He actually, for decade, when he left his palace, he was a prince, he was studying brain, like a scientist. And then when he had enlightenment, he's seen the causes of sufferings and the ways of going away from it. And he was teaching everyone who wanted to listen to him. And we are still here after 2,500 years, and we are still suffering. And even don't want to open and read what he was saying. Katie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you for your input. I appreciate that. I'm a little bit on the counter side. I'm just going to give you a real life example from America Modern Society, where I feel a lot of people are suffering because they are obese and they know exactly what to do. They know to exercise, to watch their diet. It's been on TV, but yet they choose to, overeat, not to exercise their physical body. So they are not ignorant. They are totally knowledgeable, but they have chosen another path in their life. So I'm just doing a little, I don't know how to say, debatable question. Thank you.
Thank you. It's completely acceptable. They didn't wake up one morning. For example, they went to bed thin, and they didn't wake up fat or obese, right? It was happening for some amount of time. So, and while they were going in that problem, they remained ignorant. So they didn't have a knowledge. Or they remain knowledgeable, but he was ignoring their knowledge, and it's again ignorance. But again, we won't argue about that. Thank you, Katie B. I completely accept your passion for people. And so this is actually in my spiritual classes, we are using ignorance all the time, and nobody's offended because we understand that it's just called lack of knowledge. So we can substitute it for lack of knowledge. And one more, a problem cannot cause suffering. It's our thinking, attachment to it that causes suffering. And this Ben was talking about attachment. Also, it can be said here desire. And this is the difference that desire, which become attachment, cause suffering, but not the desire by itself. So anybody wants to share your opinion? Ben, please.
Yeah, I think it's not desire the problem, because we always have desire. We desire food, we desire,
Right.
we desire all the time, you know what I mean? We are desire machines, you know, and we have repeating desires. I think is what we attach to that desire and how the desire should be fulfilled that creates the suffering. It's not the desire itself. It's what we expect from the desire.
Right, right.
I mean, the expectation is the attachment.
Yes, yes.
Now, if you don't expect nothing and you just desire, it's easier because it's very simple. I'm hungry, I eat. It's not what I eat. You should have protein, or it should be organic, or you know, it should be maybe in front of the beach with a silver or whatever, and then wait a moment, I want a yacht to pass by, like where Richard is. That's a nice restaurant. You know, and if I don't have that, you know what I mean, I'm attached to that. I mean, it has to be. I have a mother, trust me, but it has to be in a certain way, and then that's what we desire. I think sometimes if you travel, and you travel to places where you really cannot have what you want, you accept everything what you get.
Thank you, Ben. It was awesome. Okay, guys. What are your not feedback? We finished the review. It took us a long time, but I consider everything what we went through is very good reminder for those who knew that. It's a good reminder for those who didn't know that it's a good learning point. Let's what did you take for yourself to bring to home, to bring to your practice for 2 weeks? I will just very go very briefly through that. Remember that whatever is fired, we will talk later. So this is the causes of suffering. There is no separation, no stability, and we cannot avoid threats. Then almost all kind of suffering constructed by brain. Anticipation is greater than reward. Brain is building negativity bias, and everyone is living is her own virtual reality. Many movies make us suffer. Simulation make us suffer. And the first darts are unescapable or unavoidable, but we are suffering from the second darts. Okay. If you would like to say something, welcome. But I would like to start meeting number 2, happiness. Katie B, do you want to say something?
Thank you so much for reviewing all the points. I think that was very nice synopsis. And I just want to say that I'm going to try to integrate what you just shared into my life going forward and to create that awareness. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will put those slides in our WhatsApp group chat. So if you would like, please send me your phone number and I will add you. So guys, happiness, what is that about? We went through all causes of sufferings. We are aware of it. So what will make us happy? I'm larger, better than I thought. I did not know I held so much goodness. I just so like it. And I think it's absolutely true. Like it's absolutely true. But let's see further. What does it mean? Much of your body is built from the foods you eat, and your mind is built from the experiences you have. We really need to distinguish that. We really need to understand that our mind is built from the experience you have. Explicit memory versus implicit memory. Who knows the difference? And then I will explain why is it important to know. It's going scientific, but I try to make it very, very light still. Richard, please.
Well, explicit being something actual and implicit something made up.
It's a good guess. It's a good guess. Anybody else? Ben?
I really don't know, but I would want to comment on the mind built from experience you have. I don't think so.
Really? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Yes, you have experiences, but you have, I would say, emotional experiences you have. Not experiences, because you can have experiences without emotion. And emotions, if you look at it, there is some degree of suffering or pleasure in emotions. And I think you really don't want suffering, and you try to look for the pleasure of it. But sometimes looking for the pleasure of experiences, you create suffering. So really it's the emotional experiences that you have, rather than experiences without the emotion.
Where is our emotions originates?
I think emotions are like
Where they originate? Where do they originate?
in the mind.
Yeah. So
Yes,
it's the mind and the brain.
it's not the same. It's not the same. Let me tell you why. Because we can do one of our qualities as human beings, we can do a virtual desires, virtual, we can imagine having something and experiencing something without actually experiencing it.
It's also going everything in the brain. Ben.
Yes,
Everything
it's in the brain. Yeah.
Emotions in the brain, experience in the brain, everything in the brain.
Yes, everything is in the brain, but at the same time, you're really looking for that emotional result that you're going to have from the experience. Even though you may not have it, you can still virtualize it in your mind, and then you can decide to have it or not based on your experience in your mind, not in real experience.
Experience in that case, how I understand, it doesn't mean just physical experience. It can be emotional experience.
Yes.
Was all experiences.
Yes.
So, and see what is here going. This is going that what happens in your mind changes your brain, and what happens your brain changes your mind. Since the brain and mind are a single integrated system.
Yes, but sometimes if you go to, let's suppose, Istanbul, and you're walking the streets of Istanbul, and you've never been there, the smells and the environment is completely different from the place that you've been before. So you will have the experience of Istanbul, and it's going to be like new senses, a new experience that you really don't have a point of reference with the experience that you had before. So you're trying to basically, your brain doesn't know what to do. You can go to India or some places that you've never been and eat things and smell things and have experiences, and then how you process that based on
Beautiful example. If,
yeah.
for example, you had a bad experience from your travel, and it doesn't matter where you will go, if you will ended up in India or Turkey, how you said, if you had a bad experience, you will be afraid to have the same experience. You will be nervous. If you had a good experience from your traveling and you ended up by yourself in a different country, you will be open to a new experience.
That's right, but it could be either way. You're comparing with the experience that you had before.
Right? It's exactly what was said.
So it depends how you relate to those experiences. Whatever new experiences you have is in relation to the experience that you had before. It could be similar,
Beautiful.
but not exactly.
Yes.
Then also you can have virtual experiences in your mind that maybe you say, ah, it's no worth to have it. Why? Because I already passed it through my virtual experience kind of thing. Actually, to the end of the day, really, it's all virtual. It's all in your mind. And at the end, and I would say yes.
I
So-
see what you're saying. So I would change here what you want. Your mind is built from the experiences you had. It's practically what you want to say, correct?
Emotional experiences you had. In
And
other words,
emotional,
yeah, how you basically
but it's the same. It's all
Hmm.
experiences.
yes, it is. But sometimes when you imprint, I'll give you an example. You walk and you have a dog that bites you in that street.
I know that.
Basically, you're having a re-experience the dog that bites you in that street when you walk to that street.
Right.
In other words, it's an imprint of an experience, because some experiences you don't even remember, because even though you had it, it doesn't have a really an impactful experience. That means it didn't fall into the emotional imprint of that experience.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
That's what I'm trying to say. It has to have some kind of emotional imprint of that experience. You really to say, okay, I have a memory of it. If not, it just passes by. Normal.
Right. So you agree? You just think that
I agree. I agree.
it should be added emotional, but to me, experience was included everything. But I appreciate you adding. Thank you, Ben. Richard, please.
From what I hear Ben saying, I agree that the amount of emotion you feel with an experience
Yes,
determines how much impact it has.
exactly.
An experience that doesn't have any emotion at all to it may have a very minor impact on your mind in some small degree, but certainly the emotional ones that are like fear and love and happiness, those have a more lasting imprint on the mind.
Yes, guys, you have so analytical minds that you dig in even deeper. And actually, it's possible that it was there. I might removed something for the purpose of PowerPoint. Believe me, book is thick. And if I will put everything, we will have 20, 30, 50 meetings, which I cannot afford. So I completely accept your adding, and it's completely possible that it was in the book. I was just put all experiences.
And also as much as food that you eat, but what the food eats also.
Of course, don't dig. But this is actually right now you're digging too deep.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the environment plays really an extremely important effect on everything. I
No,
mean,
it's obvious.
yeah,
I agree with you, but
yeah.
this is a general idea.
Yeah.
Why is this important? I will say that explicit memory, this is toward brain, listen carefully, it's important, involves conscious remembering of prior episodes. Whereas implicit memory involves prior episodes or current behavior without intentional retrieval, and sometimes without conscious remembering of those prior episodes. And this is why it's important. Do I have a volunteer to read? Richard, please.
The flow of experience gradually sculpts your brain, thus shaping your mind. Some of the results can be explicitly recalled, but most of the shaping of your mind remains forever unconscious. This is called implicit memory, and it includes your expectations, models of relationships, emotional tendencies, and general outlook.
So it's basically implicit memory. It's like an iceberg. It's your unconscious. And it's the majority of your conscious, of your mind. And this implicit memory is ruling your expectations, models of relationship, emotional tendency, and general outlook. And once more, the negativity bias, we were talking already about it, that it's like Velcro for negative experience and Teflon for positive one. We just need to remember it. And however, negative experiences have some benefits, right? Yes, we all know that I don't need probably to ask and to tell you we are learning basically from negative experience. We can grow from negative experience. Loss can open heart, right? Remorse provides a moral compass and all of that things. However, emotional pain with no benefits to yourself and others is pointless suffering. And remember that pain today breeds more pain tomorrow. What is the remedy? The remedy is not to suppress negative experiences. When they happen, they happen. Rather, it is to foster positive experiences. And this is a big confusion, which actually I was handling for long period of my life, because I've heard, oh, you don't need to hide your anger, you need to express it, like vent on someone. The other was saying, no, you cannot do that, and it was a big fight what to do exactly. And what do you understand this? And we will talk about it. This is toward happiness already, but I want to know your opinion about this remedy. What do you think about it? Katie B, please.
Well, first of all, I would say there's never any negative experiences.
Nice.
Whatever's attracted into your energetic field, whatever interactions, whatever with different human beings is for your soul growth. It's the law of attraction. It's the universal law of magnetism. So nothing ever is negative, even though our egoic mind might interpret it as such. So what I've been learning to do and what I've been teaching is to reframe it. Why did the universe bring this to me? What is it for me to learn from and apply going forward? How can I evolve from this? So this is my mindset. So I have a little bit of difficulty with negative experiences because I believe everything's in divine order, everything's in universal flow. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Katie B. Thank you very much. Richard, please.
The first thing that I try to stay away from as far as experiences that are not pleasant, let's say, if they're not negative, they're unpleasant, is to find blame. Finding blame is probably the worst thing we could do, or I can do. And so there are some why questions, but they should be why for the purposes of learning what to do, and then to take some action. For me, it's those basic 3 steps: is avoid the blaming, learn, and then take action.
Beautiful, beautiful. The remedy is not to suppress negative experiences. So there is nothing we need to ignore or bypass. If we will bypass or ignore, it will forever remain in us. And it's quietly will live in our implicit subconscious and rule us. So we need to address everything, and how to address, we will learn how to do that. Ben, please.
Well, I think in culture is developing, I call it positive pessimism, or positive negativity. And that positive negativity is kind of an acceptance of something negative that's going to happen or not, but the possibility for it to happen is there. So you accept it, it's negative. Actually, you accept that can happen, but you keep living. In other words, and actually it could be even a positive thing because it makes your life a more immediate today kind of living. Why? Because you accepted that it might happen, and then you don't have time in the future to live because the only life you have is right now. So I call it positive negativity.
Yes, Ben, it's very nice. Thank you. I like it. And you mentioned a couple times already about our social culture, about influence of society. Guys, it's very, very important. We are a product of our society. And for example, if take the difference, all religions are the same, all of them to lead to one point, to God, but they are using different ways, like they are using different vehicles. And if continue your point of view, Ben, when we will go deeper into why it's called Buddha's brain, because those 2 scientists, they just studied what Buddha taught us, and they were surprised how scientific is that. Actually, Buddha's teaching, it's can be called the brain science. They were surprised how right steps Buddha's taught us. And all Buddha's teaching, it's all about conscious practice. And we are in Christianity, we are more leaning toward miracles. We believe Christ will come, he will save us, and on the way he will heal us. We are kind of unconsciously waiting for that. Then if I will believe in God and go to church regularly, read Bible, God will take me to paradise. So that's it. You see, in our religion, there is no conscious effort to make your life good right now. But we are missing a lot. We don't understand our Bible. I'm seriously, I don't tell that you personally. I'm talking about majority. In Bible is written very clear. The kingdom of God is within you or among you. So it's not someplace there in the paradise. It's everything here within you. And we're missing it because we are conditioned by our parents and our society that Christ will come, Christ will save you. And we don't work like, for example, Buddha is teaching. So let's move ahead. So how to do that? So the remedy is not to suppress negative experiences, but rather foster positive experience, internalizing the positive. So turn positive facts into positive experiences. What does it mean? It means that good things happens all around us, but much of the time, we just simply don't notice them. And even we do, we hardly feel them. It's what Ben and Richard was talking about emotional impact. And so what the author suggestion, they are saying, actively look for good news, particularly for the little stuff during our daily life. Faces, happy faces of children, the smell of orange, family celebration, minor success at work, and so on. And whatever positive facts we found, we need to bring our mindful awareness to them and let them affect them. Naturally increase the positive emotions. And it will actually provide stronger immune and cardiovascular systems. And to me, when I read it, I think, yes, it's nice, but please, guys, give me something more serious, something scientific. Because again, my mind is still working like I'm looking for miracle. Give me some sentences and the word that I would like said it or did it and it changed right away. It doesn't work this way. There is no miracles. Miracle pills exist that we would hear it and we would know. We were going in our problems every step of our life. We didn't wake up with the problems. We didn't go to bed without problems and wake up with problems. We were slowly going into them. But we just didn't notice that because of our ignorance or lack of knowledge. And now we need to go other ways toward happiness and be mindful on it. So this is actually a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm doing that. Savor the experience, it's delicious. So they are saying that they make it last by staying 5, 10, or even 20 seconds. Don't let your attention skitter off to something else. The longer you will hold something in your awareness, the more emotionally stimulating it is. And the more, neurons, when they fire together, they wire together. So we need to make a conscious effort to wire our neurons and create a new neural structures. It's exactly what will happen. And actually, it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I really want to share with you my experience, what I'm doing. And it's so simple, but I absolutely enjoy it. Use it or lose it. So we were just talking about that the neurons, when they fire together, they wire together. And by that, they are produce new synapses and form new neural structures. And inactive synapses wither away through neuronal pruning. So guys, use it or lose it. This is a really good one. Your subjective impact in form of being kind to yourself matters. we can share only what we have. If, for example, if I'm kind, I will share kindness. If I'm strict with myself, for example, this is my problem. I'm very strict with myself. I am very demanding of myself. Often I'm very upset of myself. Even I said something, I did something. I'm very hard on myself. And what's the result? I'm sharing it to the other people. So I thought I'm doing good to myself because I'm demanding myself, but I'm actually demanding the others. And I'm upset with the others when they don't do something what I would do. So I need to, and as soon as I will be kind to myself, I will be kind to the other people. So it doesn't mean that I'm spoiling myself. It doesn't mean that this is a very, very subtle line. How do not be egoistic while you are kind to yourself. It doesn't mean that I deserve more than Richard, more than Kathy B. Everybody deserves what? No, I just need, when I did something what I don't like, I need to analyze it. I need to see how to go, don't do it again. And just say, okay, Lena, you learn, go ahead. Literally forgive yourself. Forgive yourself on the spot, but of course, after analyzing. Given the negativity bias of the brain, it takes an active effort to internalize positive experience and heal negative ones. So guys, it's 8:30. We beautifully finish just the beginning of happiness. However, I think it would be a good homework or application suggestions for 2 weeks to practice, and actually a lot of practice for our first part, the causes of sufferings. We just need to catch ourselves, and as soon as you catch, the suffering will come much less. Let me stop sharing. What is your feedback? Not about me at all, about was it useful for you? What did you get for yourself? And again, if you would like to have the PowerPoint, I will post on our WhatsApp chat. So if you are interested, please send me your phone number. If not, if you know that, it's completely fine. Then I will wait for you, look for you in 2 weeks, and we will share your experiences, what you experience, what you learn, and questions, and we will finish happiness. And on the second part, we will go to love. And your couple words of feedback, if you would like them. Yes, Ben.
You know, I was laughing a little bit to myself, you know, that ignorance is the cause suffering. I think also the other way around. If ignorance, like voluntary ignorance, is also the cause of happiness to some degree, because you have to forget what or change the way you think about it that's causing you suffering. So to some degree, ignorance also is a kind of happiness.
I had that thought as well. We don't have only one way. It doesn't mean that what Buddha said that it's only that. He was meaning mostly majority. But what you said is absolutely correct. And those people can live more simple life and don't know anything else. And they are much more happy.
Yes, yes.
But not some of them, not of course all. And in Russia, we had a very classic Gogol not poem, a story which we studied and everybody knows that suffering from the intelligence, something like that, from too much brain, and it's exactly can be also a cause.
Yeah. Over analyzing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
Thank you.
But yeah. But I know some people like that you can see their joy and their happiness because they live in that. I won't say voluntary ignorance. It's just like, again, they didn't have certain experiences, and because they did not have certain experiences, they don't have that desire of you want to relieve many experiences. I mean, you have an experience, and then because there is pleasure, you want to have it again. So they don't have desires of certain experiences, and because they don't have that desire, they are free from them because they never had them. And at the same time, they are lighter. They're more.
Yes.
They don't, they don't carry that experience, and it's true. I think a lot of experiences that we carry also create some level of unhappiness, and because we cannot get rid of them, or we just cannot think about them differently. And I don't know. I think we all should be children again.
Absolutely. But curiosity will keep us to learn something new and to improve our lives. Yeah, curiosity. Thank you, Ben. Very good. Katie B, will you say us a couple of words?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for this session. I always find it so I'm full of wonderment and contemplation, introspection, and I just love it. It's so stimulating for me on so many levels, and I will continue to contemplate what was shared tonight and integrate to raise my base inner vibration. So thank you so much for having this Zoom session. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, dear Katie B. Thank you, and I appreciate for your honesty. And we don't have to have the same opinion. We don't have to agree. I appreciate Ben said, I disagree. I have my opinion. It's beautiful. And you were fighting for people that all of them are good. And I appreciate completely what you said. And still, if we are staying on our opinions, or it was enriching. So I really appreciate your honesty, guys. I love everything what you said today.
Thank you so much. I feel the same.
Yeah. Richard, would you like to say something?
Well, I'll just mention that my way of looking at all of this knowledge is that everything is pretty much dovetailing. All knowledge is connected to each other in some way. It's just a matter of choosing which of those ways is more friendly to your mind.
Beautiful.
But all in all knowledge is connected, and we're just learning different ways of expressing that knowledge.
This is the beauty. We don't need to be the same. We don't need to be. We are oneness, not sameness.
I mean, we don't need to suffer together.
Not at all. We are will be in happiness next week.
No, but you'll be surprised how many people out there that want I'm saying they want the other person, whoever, to suffer with them.
Yes, exactly. And we don't need to do that.
No.
Guys, thank you so much. I tremendously enjoyed our conversation. I learned from you a lot. So please practice, or remember, even not practice is kind of boring. Just remember about it and have fun. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.